the pandemic over, we are not done. Instead, we begin a new challenge to overcome the shortage of many products. For many industries that are rely on the traditional way of production, I mean the agriculture industry, it takes 1 year, 1 to 1.5 years to recover because traditionally for each product it takes 1 year. If we assume each product is produced in one particular season, so it takes 1 year to 1.5 years to deliver or ship product from the origins like Brazil or China to the US.
With three different aspects in mind. First is how the demand and supply works. Second is restaurant food, and the third is grocery. Okay, so these are the three components I'm going to address. First is how the demand and supply works. I mean, it's pretty common sense that when the price of something increases, people are going to buy less of it, and when price is cheaper, people are going to buy more of it, right? Second is the restaurant business. Restaurant is something that people want to eat at, but they don't have to, because the alternative is you can buy food from the groceries and you can cook at home. So if you look at what has happened over the last 3 months since this pandemic started, everything else like retail and services and transportation, everything, prices are going down, and there is just everything is shut down, and people are not making any money, people are not able to get to the jobs. The only industry where prices are going up is the grocery industry, and the reason for that is people are staying more at home, so they are making more food, so they are buying more food. So again, that's what demand and supply works. So when the industry eventually opens up, we don't know when, but what is going to happen is for all these things to come back to normal, we first have to make sure that the people's confidence in the system is restored. And as long as people are scared to go out, as long as people are scared to go to the restaurants and eat out, nothing is going to change.
But what I think about are families that are out of a job, unemployed. They don't have the ability to just go, oh, let me call up a Peapod and have them deliver food to me. They're struggling. I was reading that 47% of families 2 years ago were not able to cover a $400 emergency without borrowing or selling or, just going without. And so I think that's just been exacerbated. When we look at the unemployment numbers, we look at, and especially the people who are being hit the hardest, people in the service industry, they're the ones who are most at risk to begin with. And so the percentage of people with food insecurity has doubled in the last month. So it's about 20 or 25%, which I think is just incredible to think about. People who don't have enough, and these are families with children under 18 who are struggling this way. So the food supplies, we've had some sporadic, toilet paper, issues. And I know my son works at Giant, and, they had some of the meat factories were closing down temporarily, but mostly our food supply is just fine. It's a matter of income inequality that's become more of an issue, that families just don't have the resources, they don't have the backup to survive these kinds of sudden losses of income. So if you're a waiter or a waitress, or you work in a restaurant and your income is suddenly slashed to zero, and yes, the government's providing some stimulus funds for people who are documented. These are people who are, the people who are not documented, or the people who for some reason fall through the cracks, or even those who are supposed to get the money. It might take a month or two to get it. In many of the states, the unemployment systems have been inundated with applications, and so people aren't able to get the emergency cash that they need. So there's a real struggle just to put food on the table. So that when we look at the 20 or 25%, we're talking about families that they don't have enough food for the day.